Grand Rising gods and goddesses, we are on the 8th saga of Intimate with TomBoi, the Black Rico Suave.
This is the one piece. Your body seasons me. Your body needs to be pleased. Your body is calling for me. Your body needs some ecstasy. Let's go through the roof. Let the neighbors know my name. TomBoi, say it again.
Hey gods and goddesses, thank you for tuning in on the 8th saga of Intimate with TomBoi. And today we're going to be talking about grooming and a lot of sexual abuse and other things that go on in the community that we just need to talk about. Alright? So of course, I'm going to start out with talking about me. So, a lot of y'all don't know, I started doing a lot of sexual intercourse at a young age, 12 actually, which is young, a lot of people do it more than what you think though. Now, I wasn't forced to do it or anything or molested or anything like that. But the more and more I talk about it, a lot of people say like, you were groomed into a lifestyle. Not only that, it is kind of like along the lines of, you had somebody that was kind of like some pedophiles around you. So let me go more into the story. So basically, when I was 12, I had 2 girlfriends. They were both best friends. They were 5 years older than me. And basically, I was introduced to the lifestyle of polygamy at an early age. Now, if you do the math, remember I said I was 12 and they were 5 years older than me. So right there, they weren't grown women, but they were almost grown women. And, a lot of people say like, man, that's messed up because they were old enough to know that that was not cool. But they kind of grew me into a lifestyle. They were cool with it. And I thought it was fine. It was something that, of course, I didn't publicly speak on, and because, of course, I wasn't trying to let, grandma and all them know, like, what I was doing. But, yeah, this was going on. And so, we're going to talk about grooming. Like, I would say this, like, as a parent, it's probably the hardest thing to do is to be able to watch your kids 24/7. You can be behind your kids like crazy, but if I was able to get away with this, and I'm talking about, my people was on my ass. Like, it was go to church, it was school, it was this and this and this. Even when I was bad and acting out, doing stuff, with the GDs and, stealing cars and, stealing from retail stores, my people still stayed on my ass. But this is just to let you know, it doesn't matter how much you are behind your kids, that they can still find a way to do things. And we never talk about these things about grooming and how young adults, or adults, put their perversions on, teenagers or preteens or, children, and how they can groom them into certain sexual lifestyles as adults and, basically mold them into something that they didn't know about until somebody put the thought or actually, turned them out into this lifestyle. I would say how this has affected me in my adult years is even when I was married and all that, I still had multiple women. I still had multiple women, whether the person I was dealing with knew or they didn't know, because for me, I was just used to having more than one woman. And so, with that being said, I was introduced to a poly lifestyle, or if you want to call it a player lifestyle, because this is how I started my sexual experiences. Had this not happened to me, I might have been more open to monogamous relationships because I seen it. Like, don't think I didn't see it. I seen it. Like, when my sister would be married, I seen pictures and stuff of my mother when she was married and when she was dating. She was always in a monogamous relationship. My grandparents, they also showed me that as well, like monogamy. So it wasn't that I didn't see it, but I was groomed into a lifestyle. And since I was groomed into a lifestyle, I thought like, this is just me, this is how it's gonna be. And so a lot of times now when I go into conversations with women and I tell them I'm poly and stuff like that, they automatically talk about being poly in order to, I guess, get to my feelings, but then not understanding I was groomed like that. And so they're like, well, if you're gonna have somebody else, I'm gonna have to have somebody too. And they're doing that as a don't get hurt mechanism, but they're not understanding what happened to me as a child and why I'm so into this lifestyle. And so, now y'all understand a little bit more of why, like, I talk about being a playboy, how it's hard to find love when you're a playboy or a player, or, you're into a poly relationship because people assume that you just want to be on some whole shit, and all that. And it's never that. It's just I was groomed into a lifestyle. Of course, when I got older, I saw that, being polygamous was not about just sex. I found out about the building side of it, and I understood that and I actually liked that. The hard part about it is, like I said, a lot of women, they want monogamy. And, I did try it, but when I tried it, it went kind of south for me. And so I built up a wall with monogamy, and so now I have to learn how to be in a monogamous relationship. And whatever lady I decide to do that with, I have to be wanting to do that with her. As you can tell, I'm a very forward person, so I just put everything out on the table right there. Because look, see, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you who I am. I'm gonna give you the choice. I'm not gonna take away the choice of you dealing with me and finding out later on down the line. And see, what I noticed is that a lot of people, they lie. Because we got a lot of liars, and this is why people have walls and you can't trust, and you don't know who's who, you don't know what personality they have, you don't know who you are with. So I really understand why, that's somewhat, but to me, there's a stranger in my house, because a lot of us are with strangers. We think we know them, but we don't know all about them. And for me, I like to just tell you who I am, because I'm going to give you that choice. I'm not going to take away your choice of dealing with me or not. You know what I'm saying? But I understand that we are in a world where people have secrets and they have lies, and they figure that you're going to love to lie. And, like they say, ignorance is bliss. You know what? I don't want you to be ignorant on anything, and for the people that want their significant other to be ignorant, that's on you. You deal with that when that problem comes along, and guess what? Whatever you put out into the universe, expect it to come back to you. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this: be 100. Not just 100. Sometimes be 1,000 with who you are. No, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't lie or I haven't lied, or that everything that comes out of my mouth is the truth. You know what I'm saying? No one is that. But when it comes to just, really opening up and all those things, I keep that shit 100 with whoever, I'm dealing with. I want them to know who they're dealing with. I'm not here for the games or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? And I just like to keep things just smooth as possible, Because one thing I know from dealing with trauma, everyone has trust issues. They feel like, once you break their trust, there's no coming back. And that is true, especially in a lot of cases. And it's just certain things that if you do it, um, they don't want you back. And they're not gonna tolerate it. And it comes from trauma of whatever they dealt with, whatever relationship that they were in. And so basically just, try to be as real as you can. I know some things is, my grandmother used to say, some things is just for you and the Lord. And everybody don't need to know your business. And it could be like that with your partner too. Like it might be just something that, just between you and the most high, Um, but it's things that need to be shared, that hey look, hey this it ain't cool. If it's gonna affect their life drastically, you need to just tell them that up front, Don't be with the fake shit and all that. Just keep that shit 1,000. And we also have to realize too, who we are dealing with. Like if they have certain fetishes or fantasies, or they are used to a certain lifestyle, it started when they were younger. A lot of times as a child, or as a preteen or a teenager. And so we have to understand that, like, some people have been sexually groomed. And, you know, this is something that we need to talk about in the community. Because, no one ever thinks of these things. Why is this person like that? What happened to them as a child? And this is not just for women, this is men as well, because we don't talk about it with the men and how sexual abuse affects them as well on who they are. So, you know, like a lot of things can start off because of what happened to them as a child. And so, we need to really just discuss how sexual abuse can affect somebody in their adulthood. One thing that we don't talk about is how sometimes people are sexually abused and groomed by relatives. It could be a parent, it could be a step parent, it could be a cousin and all that. And we don't discuss that because, and I'm gonna just say this, a lot of people, being black or whatever, they sweep it under the rug. It also happens in the Latino culture as well. Heavy. A lot of things are swept under the rug. There's a lot of people walking around where, a relative did something to them and a child came along, and we don't discuss these things, and we kind of turn the blind eye to it. But it's going on. You know what I'm saying? And we need to be vocal about it. We need to change these things, and we need to make corrections with these things. And it first starts by cleaning house at home. If you have a sexual predator in your family, address that and get them out of there. Get them up out of there. Stop turning a blind eye and just acting as everything is okay when it's not okay. We gotta stop this. It starts with us. You know what I'm saying? Stop sweeping things under the rug and stop calling these people, oh, well, they're good. No, they're not a good person. Because a good person would not groom a child, sexually abuse a child, or turn them into a lifestyle that they weren't ready for. You know what I'm saying? And if you think that is okay, something is wrong with you. And maybe you need counseling or you need help with that. And that's another thing we need to do. We need to go to counseling and getting help and all that. And I want to give a shout out to my friend Jess. I did a video for her. And she's a, counselor on, helping you with love and other trauma. Talk with her if you need some counseling. Talk to her on her TikTok, on her IG, and everything. Shout out to Jessica Williams. definitely go for her. Go to these counselors. Get this help that we need. So like I said, we got to get the counseling to help with the healing process of people being sexually groomed or, just rape or, molested and all that. People that are doing these predatory things affect people so much in adulthood on what lifestyle they choose, or maybe like, even them getting into the sex industry. We might have a lot of people that, are strippers, or they, are escorts or prostitutes, not because they wanted to do it, but because they were groomed into that. You got the, I come from a city where, pimping was big, pimping Ken, Pimp Snooky, the film Pimps Up, Hoes Down. It took place, it was talking about Chicago, Milwaukee, Detroit. A lot of that was coming from my city. I seen it. I went to school with kids where the father was the pimp and their mama was the hoe, and they was cool with that. I seen it all the time. I remember as a child, across the street was a hoe house, and basically, we used to see them cut up. The hoes came out and they was catching tricks and all that. When I was a child, I also ran into Big Lex. She was a pimp, female pimp that was in the movie Pimps Up and Hoes Down. So this is also around the culture, and this is also grooming people. Now, I'm not talking about the adults that, consciously made the decision to want to be a sex worker or get into the porn industry, or they want to be strippers or escorts, or anything within that domain, because that was different. You're adult, you said this is what I want to do. That's different. I'm here for the ones that were groomed into it, like I was groomed into it. Or other adolescents that were, sexually abused, and, they did this lifestyle based off of because of grooming or force. You know what I'm saying? This is not for them. Now, I don't have any problems with anyone that wants to get in the sex industry, if that's what they want to do consciously as adult, knowing like, hey, this is what I want to do. Like I said before, I told y'all, my ex was a burlesque dancer, high school sweetheart, was into the stripping, and so I was, I dated lots of strippers. While I was married, I was still dating strippers and stuff like that. So I've been around this for a while. Now, granted, because I was groomed into the lifestyle, I was more accepting of the lifestyle, and also because I seen it in my environment. Now, it wasn't going on in my household, but once I left them doors, I seen everything. And so, I was raised by, is what we would say, good people, church going, God fearing, raising the child up in the way that he or she should go type of folks. They weren't into that. They was just about, you go to school, you do this, and you get married, and, you have kids and this. And that's the type of household I was raised up in. But once I left them doors, I'm out in the world and I'm surrounded by this. So, and like I said, I had two girlfriends that groomed me in that. Like, your kids encounter so much once they leave through them front doors. And so for us to change a lot of things, we have to start getting rid of these predators. Some of these predators need counseling because they were groomed into who they were sometimes. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to take in the fact that they were introduced into being who they are by somebody else that hurt them, And we gotta have these discussions. We gotta talk about these things because they exist, And we gotta stop it. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep turning a blind eye to it, or overlooking it, or sweeping it under the rug as if it's not going on. Because it starts with us. It starts with us opening up and being truthful and healing as a culture, as a people. And so I just wanted to say, like, thank y'all for tuning in again with the 8th saga of Intimate with TomBoi. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long. Love y'all. Light, love, abundance, peace, and prosperity, gods and goddesses. Y'all enjoy y'all Sunday, and I'm gonna see y'all again next week. Alright, peace.
This is baby. Let me lay you down. No, let me lay you down. Baby, let me lay you down. Just let me lay you down. Sugar, let me lay you down. Yeah, let me lay you down. Let me lay you down. Hey, let me lay you down. Lay it down, lay it down. Baby, let me lay you down. Lay it down, lay it down. Sugar, let me lay you down. Lay it down, lay it down. Oh, let me lay you down. Hey, your body seasons me. Your body needs to be pleased. Your body is calling for me. Your body needs some ecstasy. Let's go to the moon. Let's go through the roof. Let the neighbors know my name. TomBoi, say it again. Yeah. Let me lay you down. Baby, let me lay you down. Baby, let me lay you down. Come on, let me lay you down. Sugar, let me lay you down. Just let me lay you down. Come on, let me lay you down. Hey, lay it down for me.